So the next part of a resume is the experience, and I call that the meat and potatoes of the resume. It's where you're going to list the different experience you have. Now, some of it will be work experience, but maybe some of it's going to be volunteer experience. You want to be consistent in this section. You want to, the way we have it on our template is that you list your title first, the organization, the location, and then the dates. It's fine if you want to do it a different way. Sometimes you've worked at really interesting places, so you may want to have the organization name be first or the business name be first. Whatever you do, make sure you do that all the way through. Including accomplishments in bullet point format. We seem to find that's best. People these days really respond better to bullet points than reading big paragraphs of, describing your duties. Really think of, well, what were my accomplishments at this job, and make like 3 to 5 statements listing your accomplishments at that job. Also make sure that they're relevant to the job that you're applying to. You probably could list, 10 or 20 things that you did at a job, but really find the ones that speak to the job that you're applying for. The other thing I like to remind people about is speak the language of the organization that or business that you're applying to. Go on their website, see, what are they like? How do they phrase things? What does the job description look like? Sometimes the job description might say, we are seeking a customer support specialist. Well, what if you were a customer service representative? Okay, that's just a matter of changing your language to match up with the company. If they say customer support, you say customer support if that's what you did. Another thing I like to remind people of is if you have a job title that maybe is not too descriptive. That happens a lot at big corporations and academic institutions. Maybe you were a student assistant too. Well, that doesn't tell people much. You might want to change that job title to say, I was a student assistant in the transfer center, or I was a student assistant to the dean of technology. Something that's more descriptive, even if that wasn't your official title, that helps people understand what you did and kind of visualize what your job experience is. So through your resume and your work experience, you want to kind of paint a picture for the employer of what you were doing and what kind of duties and accomplishments you had. So think about it in terms of using numbers and percentages and describing things so that they can kind of visualize. It was like, I worked for a busy office for 4 doctors seeing hundreds of patients each day. The other thing to do is to use action words. We have a great handout that has action words. It'll give you verbs it'll kind of get your juices flowing in terms of writing, some good juicy descriptions. Use superlatives whenever you can. If you were the first, if you were the best, maybe if you got employee of the week, employee of the month, things like that. I always recommend you to kind of write a lot at first and then whittle it down, because you'll get to see what are the best nuggets in your resume. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, you want to keep things that you did in the past tense, and only things that you're still currently doing would be in the present tense. So if it's a job that you have that you stopped even just 1 week ago, all of the descriptors for that are going to be in the past. We have some kind of silly examples of writing some work experience and then a way to transform it, which is good. This one is for a construction worker who was a laborer, and then something a little better, coordinated with a crew of 4 to build homes, rapidly adapted to changing work orders, maintained tools worth over $1,000, and beginning training in reading blueprints and structural requirements. You can see how that's visual, and it was a very basic job, and it was, being a construction crew assistant. But you get a sense of the different things that person was doing.